Well, I think I first heard of Frank Gray when I first started working for the recreation department in about 1975, and kids were playing for Frank at the time at the old junior high would be hanging out at the rec center playing basketball and getting to know these kids pretty well, and it was really interesting to me how they would talk about Frank, and it seemed like he was always a topic of their conversations, and how they were, I think, maybe a little intimidated by him or in awe of Frank, but it was always interesting. It was always with respect when they referred to him. And then as these kids got a little older, or when I met other kids who had Frank and were now in high school, the talk seemed to change to more about what Frank had done for him and what he meant to him, and how he prepared them to compete at the high school level. I've really found it interesting when the kids got older and went through college and started having kids of their own, and then how they would talk about Frank and really what he had done for them and how much confidence he instilled in them and their work ethics and all those kinds of things that I'm sure you've heard about, all the time, but they're true, and it was really true. It was just really fun for me, before I even knew him, to hear those kinds of stories about him. The one thing that I've seen in the whole time I've been here is that Broomfield High School has had such a winning tradition in sports, and I think a lot of that, in my mind, I think Frank Gray played a vital role in that. His teams at the junior high and the old middle school, they never lost. They didn't lose at anything. And when those kids would start at Broomfield High School, they just had that instilled in them. And I think it's just continued on all these years. Broomfield High School is still out. He was, I can remember when Frank was the manager of the pool at the Broomfield Country Club, and my son was just a young boy and was learned how to swim, learned how to dive and everything. Didn't have a lot of confidence. Frank, in that one summer, was able to instill some confidence in my son that I wasn't able to do. That he just had a way about him. He could just do those things, and it was just great to watch. And he was just that kind of guy. He just did that with everybody. So.